just a wash now. Had to climb up it. So this used to be a road you could drive on. It's not a road anymore. It's been closed for a long time. It's sort of misty, almost raining every now and then. It's one of the last 2 cool days before it heats up again. I remember back in the 70s, and not even that long ago, the 80s, you could come back here and there would be tons of people. Maybe even the early 2000s. But now all these roads are closed and everything. Nobody comes out here. So I'm returning to the Hot Springs Trail, the Arizona Hot Springs Trail. And gonna continue on and see how far I go. And I actually met somebody, I know somebody, I knew him before, who has hiked the entire trail. My friend Lenny, who I hiked with a little bit on the PCT and here in our backcountry in 2009. And he says a lot of this trail that Arizona made up isn't really there. A lot of it's really not very good. And I kind of figured as much, especially since, he put the trail together in like 2011 or 2013 or something like that. Since then, a lot of trails have just fallen away and the Forest Service doesn't really maintain. It's kind of up to various nonprofits and, they struggle and volunteers and stuff. So I'm going to kind of I mapped out my own route to get around a lot of places. So right now I'm going to follow the official route to Ojai and then to the Sespe River. But then after that, I kind of have my own route to get over to the PCT. And we'll see if I get that far. If it's going to get really hot. I got 2 nice cool days and then it turns into like the upper 80s and maybe even the low 90s. We'll see if I can take it. I'm not in that great a shape. But if I can, I'll continue on toward the PCT. So that should be a fun trip. And we'll see how it goes. And I'm on my way. Right now I'm in Middle San Ynez Campground, just taking a little break. A bunch of backpackers just walked by. It's so weird. I keep seeing young people who play old music. Like old music from when I was young. So it's all cool again, I guess. But it looked like they were on their way to Big Caliente. And I kind of been mapping out the miles. And because I started at Camino Cielo and went down the Forbes Trail, because I started there, I kind of bought myself a lot of extra time to get to the post office. So I think I might take the side trip, add 6 miles. I'm going to take it over to Big Caliente. And then after that, I'll see how far beyond Juncal I can get before my feet get too tired. Look at this nice swimming hole. This road is abandoned. The signs are still up, but there really is no road. Just when you come to the creek crossings, the concrete's still here, but the road is gone. So no sooner did I arrive than those men left, and they are with the other people that I saw earlier today. They're all going to camp up here. There's like a little camp area a little ways down below, so they're going to stay there. And I got in the water. It's very, very pleasant, but I get hot pretty quickly. Now I'm out of the water and it's cold. Okay, goodbye, Big Caliente Hot Springs. Oh, so here I am at Juncal. And this is where the San Ynez crosses this dirt road. So it's about 6 miles to Upper San Ynez Camp. And I think there's water there, but I don't know for sure there's water there. It's about 3 miles to the Alder Creek, the Franklin Trail, where it ends down here on this side. And I know that has water, so I don't know, I may just grab enough to get there and then see if I want to camp there or not. Because I'm getting kind of tired. It's my first day and, you know, I'm not in the greatest of shape or anything. Well, there's the dam for Jameson Lake. And I don't know if you can see, but you can kind of see up there and up there, some dirt roads. This is the valley that I could see below when I was doing my San Ynez Valley Traverse. And I believe that there in that low point, that's Murrieta Divide. And that kind of divides Santa Barbara and Ventura County. So I think I'm gonna go down this little spur to Alder Creek. Hey, look at that. That old sluice appears to be broken. That's where the parking lot used to be, and it's been obliterated by the creek. So the start of the trail would, I guess, be right in there. So I'm going to try to remember to report this on Hike Los Padres, that the start of the trail is kind of washed away. So I just ate a nice big dinner, and I'm thinking I'm not really enthused about this spot. Maybe with a nice full belly full of dinner I can go another mile or so. Got an early start. It's about 5:40. So I didn't sleep so well. Some little animal was rummaging around, some little nocturnal animal near my head. And it didn't frighten me or anything, but it was loud and it woke me up every few hours. Sometimes he squeaked, whatever he was. Wish I could have seen it. It was probably a very cute little rodent or something. Anyway, I'm gonna start my climb up to Murrieta Divide and probably stop at Upper San Ynez to have breakfast. Well, I've made it to the camp, and like I thought, I mean, I could just sleep right here, I guess, in the road, but the camp's not really good for camping anymore because it's all overgrown and there's fallen trees everywhere. Looks like people go in there. There could have been something. Anyway, I hear water, so I'm getting hungry. I'm gonna have some breakfast. So here's the spring. It's flowing. A little hard to get to. I'm not sure how you get there. I guess you can maybe climb down through this junk, but it's flowing pretty well. There's all these ferns back there. It's like a paradise. This old road is really overgrown. I don't think anybody's been back here. Well, some bike packers have been back here because I've seen a lot of bike prints. Some bears. But I haven't seen any trip reports on Hike Los Padres since 2017. And the road out here to do it as a day hike has been closed for many years. So I don't know if the Murrieta Trail is even worth trying. We used to go down here somewhere off the side to get water, but I haven't been able to find an accessible spot, and I don't hear the water anymore. So the water in the spring is hard to get. Wow, the road is completely washed out. by this creek, so I guess you can get water here, but you certainly can't drive up here anymore. Wow. This is gonna be, I don't know, a little difficult. Well, that wasn't difficult at all. I didn't have to go that far through it. It's very nice with this creek. Just wish there was a little bit better of a trail. I guess it goes on quite a ways. Look at this old pipe. Okay, so that was about I don't know, maybe a tenth of a mile of that. Climbing through the creek. Now I'm back to a road. And the little creek has sort of veered off, so I think the road will be good from here on out. Whoa, there's a huge washout here. I'm gonna have to like climb way up there somewhere, or maybe it's just right over there. Well, that was a bit sketchy, but I'm sure some young man could do it easy. See how the rest of this goes. It's an adventure. Another washout, but this one's rather delightful. Seems to be a nice little pool down there. I think this marks the Marietta Trail. Wonder if it's worth taking. I don't think it is. I mean, the road has been kind of a disaster, but it's been doable. And the trail follows the creek, so I imagine it's been completely wiped away. So I'm not gonna risk it. I just want to walk upright and get there. A lot of footprints and bike prints going through this seep, so I think the road is going to be doable all the way down to the bottom. I don't know if you can hear it, but the creek is just so loud. I was looking down from up there when I was hiking the Ocean View Trail. Somewhere up there I could look down on here. We got the fog layer out there keeping the weather cool. That's gonna go away tomorrow, sadly. So. I'm down on the dirt road that leads to the paved road where all the chickens and peacocks live. So, and not quite to the, what's the name of that trail that goes up to all those little watery, nice campsites? I forget the name, but we used to do that with Jim Diliakis and go swimming. So, onward and downward. Well, I'm gonna hope that's enough water for the rest of the day and until tomorrow morning. Just spoke with a lady with the horses back there, and she's doing an LPFA work trip on Matilaha Trail. That's the name of the trail. So she also plays music with me. I can smell the sulfur of the hot springs. I've never been to them, but they're down there somewhere. I used to be able to go to them, but now they're private property, and I bet the trail's gone. Well, a nice man, right after I was talking about the hot springs, a nice man from Santa Barbara who was on the LPFA work trip, the one with the hard hat on the back of his backpack. He saw me and he stopped and gave me a ride all the way to the Cozy Dale Trail. So now I have even less to hike, which is good. My feet were hurting. So the trail is pretty nice. Well, I made it to the top of this little saddle, And if I can find a shady spot somewhere, I think maybe I'll take a little break. So today the high is supposed to be 70. And man, I was like dying climbing up that hill. It was so hot. So it looks like these high temperatures are they're getting lower over time. Like I've been watching for a week. And they were like initially around 90. And now they're like 80. So it's going to be tough. I'm not in good shape. I'm not used to the heat. This was really steep coming down. Ooh, look, there's water here. I don't have to leave Ojai with a ton of water. I can get it here. So I guess when I entered the pavement, that was the National Forest boundary. So I'm gonna backtrack to it and I'm just gonna spend the rest of the day there. This is like actual private property, all this stuff here. So I'm gonna get stuck somewhere where I can't sleep overnight. But I can sleep overnight in the forest. So I found a spot in a creek bed in the forest where nobody can see me, where I can just sit here and chill out. Sucks, I should have gotten in better shape before I came out here. I'm so sore and just can't take the heat. Well, I'm getting a reasonably early start to go down to Ojai and get my box. And then I will head up the trail in the heat and hope for the best. Oh my God, my hair. Well, because I retired early and I'm married to a man who's a little older than me, pretty much all the time that I spend is with people who are my age or older. Hardly see any younger people. Maybe a few of them come on the Friday morning Sierra Club hike. But for the most part, I'm surrounded by old people. And old people talk about their aches and pains and their medical procedures and watch old people TV, and it's all the commercials are for drugs. And God, I was starting to feel like I'm getting too old for my age. So I thought I'd come out here and do something youthful. And now I just feel really old. So hopefully this will kind of recharge my fitness and my feeling of youthfulness a little bit. We'll see how it goes, but it's not too promising at the beginning here. Well, I get to climb up that now, and I think that's just a low one in front of the actual high peak. Well, there's my tree where I camped last night, and I'm beginning the climb. It's about 10:30, and it's hot, but it's not that hot. It's pretty comfortable, although I'm sweating profusely. I filled up at the dog water and got my hair wet, which feels pretty good. So the Valley View camp is like 2.5 miles away or so, and there's shade. I can get water there and rest, do whatever I want there. I can see the post office from here, right there. There's where the Ocean View and Kennedy Ridge trails came down to the Ventura River down there. And in the distance, barely visible, maybe not by the camera, is the Channel Islands in the ocean. And there's a nice ocean breeze right here, feels really good. They're not kidding about relentless climbing, but I'm slowly but surely getting there. Oh, I'm really struggling. Here's the trail. It goes down. I imagine the campsite is somewhere in here with these nice trees. So I'm gonna rest for a while in the shade. Look at that pool. Oh my God, that looks so inviting. Well, Arizona's hot spring trail is supposed to be about the cold plunges too. And this was pretty cold. Felt really good. He talks about this is a through soak and something about healing waters. And oh man, the climb up here was brutal. And this water is definitely going to heal me. I don't know how long I'm going to stay here. Probably most of the day because the climb out of here is pretty brutal too. But I'm pretty close to Nordhoff Peak, which is, there's like a lookout tower up there. And leaving here, I think I have 16 miles to the next on-trail water. Maybe it's more than that, I have to check. So I really have to haul a lot of water. So one programming note about the guidebook for the Arizona's Hot Springs Trail. It says that this is a dry camp, but there's plenty of water. And if you look on hikelospadres.com, the trip reports for this campsite report water even in July. So I don't think it ever goes dry. So just so you know, unfortunately, this is only halfway up this climb, and that was brutal. So, and then it is about 20 miles to the next water source. So I guess that's about 4 liters of water that I need to carry. So I'm trying to pack this with 4 liters of water. So my big 2-liter platypus is inside, and it takes up so much room. Even with taking some of the things that were inside of my pack out, that I can't even roll over the top. Oh, this is gonna be so heavy. It's almost 3. I was gonna leave at 3, and it's like the sun has barely moved at all. So here's hoping for the best. But I guess the little camping area is not in the sun anymore, so that's evidence the sun has moved. Okay, I got some cold towel on my head, and I'm ready to leave my cool shade. I actually got a little cold there for a while because I was all wet. My clothes were wet, and hopefully I've watched the trees. Every now and then there's a good breeze, so hopefully the breeze will either come back or pick up or something. Here we go. Oh, I'm so glad I waited down there for, I think it was like 2 hours maybe, or an hour and a half. Now I get little bits of shade. Well, it took me an hour to go 1.2 miles. So that's 1.2 miles an hour. Pretty slow. When it turned into the sunny side of the mountain, it was pretty rough there. But I'm not to the summit. I just have gained the saddle here. There's the trail I just came up. Looks like I maybe go up there next. There's Nordhoff Peak. Lookout tower. This is very reminiscent of the Traverse, San Ynez Traverse, my road, which you can kind of see. It just keeps traversing, and I'm not at the top at all. There's the topas, the bluffs. Have to go to the base of those before it, I think it still goes up even after that, around to the other side before I start going down. I do have an option to, instead of going down to Ladybug and then pushing my way through brush to get to the Sespe, I can go down the Lion Trail, and if there's water down there, I get to water sooner. If not, then I gotta go all the way to the Sespe to get water. But then I'd hike the Sespe Trail along the creek like a normal person. And that kind of sounds appealing, looking at all this ahead of me. So I'll make the decision when I get there. Well, I made it to the Howard Creek Trail. So that makes it about up to 2 miles per hour. This would be a nice place to camp, but I'm not going to camp here. I'm going to cook some dinner. It's a little bit out of the wind. Look how nice this is. And then I'll carry my dinner with me. That there, the pointy one, that's Chief Peak. Wow, look, there's a pond. I didn't need to haul this water. I wish I would have known. That's listed in Area Zoner's guidebook as Muck Pond number 1. I found a spot to camp, and I see Muck Pond number 2. Here's where I'm gonna set up here, down in between these bushes. It's kind of windy. I got a really late start. The wind came up and the moon came up, and so I stuck my head inside of my jacket to keep my head warm and to block the light from keeping me up. And then at like 3:30, that's when the moon came up. I got really hungry and I couldn't sleep. And then finally I fell asleep, and because my head was in the jacket, I didn't even see that it was already morning. So it's 6 o'clock. So hopefully I can make it to Ladybug sometime today. So there is a little road that goes to the Muck Pond. I could have camped by the Muck Pond. I wonder if those are there for wildlife, because I don't think there's any cattle up here, if there ever was. That saddle right there is Marietta Divide. Those are the high peaks I did on the San Ynez Traverse. And down there is Ojai, Lake Casitas. And out there on the horizon is Santa Cruz and Anacapa Islands in the Channel and the Pacific Ocean. Behind these hills here is Ventura. And then peeking out right in there is Ventura Oxnard area. So on the horizon there is kind of where the Backbone Trail is. And here's Topa Topa. We used to do a, what was it, Christmas or New Year's hike up to that peak there, have hot chocolate. Wow, I didn't realize that the Lion Canyon Trail is so far to the east. We did this with Phil a few weeks ago, or a few months ago now, and we're almost to where the trail we used to hike up from Cesar Road. We're almost to where that one joins. So that trail, I could take it down to the Sespe and start at the beginning of the Sespe, but I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna do this Ladybug thing, see how it goes. Well, somebody's keeping the trail up. Oh, I dropped this and poked a big hole. The hole, there it is, you can see the whole top is broken now. Oh no. Now I barely have enough water capacity. I think this is the one we climbed that we called Heinz Peak. And you had to do that knife edge there. And I got a little bit up, and the top of the trail was icy. And that scree was really loose and slippery. And I got really scared and I said, nah. So you can faintly see the trail right along there. This one, the topo says, is Topa Topa Mountain. And there's a trail probably going along that knife edge to the top. You can just make out, it says 3 left arrow Ladybug and big giant left arrow Sespe. All right. And I can see some zigzags down there. So this is my trail. And you know, I kind of remember this sign, so I wonder if this is what we climbed. Holy moly, there's no way I would do that. Well, I am gonna have to climb back up into those mountains over there. I'm not sure where I go, maybe somewhere over there. Down and up. So I think this is the first crossing of Timber Creek, and it is dry. Somebody lost their sandal, probably climbing under this. I think there is no ladybug. I feel like I've been unwinding elevation forever and ever, and I'm not getting anywhere. I sure hope there's a ladybug, because I would like to sit in the shade. Well, that's how much water I have left. I got all the way the 19 and a half or 20 miles, and I have that much left. And I don't see a ladybug camp, so I don't think there is one anymore. So this is the only place the trail crosses the creek. And I don't see a campsite here. It's not very shady. It's very hot though. I think I'll rest here for a little while. I'm not sure how much water I need. And then I'll just try to get down to the Sespe. It's probably going to be pretty brutal for part of the way. But I don't know. Somebody did it a few months ago and said it was doable. So let's hope I can do it without having to carry tons of water down there. Well, it's not very restful because I'm sitting on rocks and there's not really very much shade. So I'm just gonna go a little further and see if maybe the Ladybug camp is just on the other side or something. And if not, it's 2 miles to Sespe, and I'll just push myself through the heat, or maybe I'll find a better place to sit, who knows. Well, looks like there's no Ladybug, so I'm gonna push on into the heat. Hope I can make it. Well, it goes. It's following like a little drainage, and it's been, you know, I can push through it pretty good. So it's going. It's been actually not too bad. And some of it looks familiar, so I think I have hiked this part before. So it's really not that much worse than the upper part. And I can see the, maybe I'll be able to see them when I come out around the corner here a little bit. You can see those red rocks, the red cliffs that you can see from the Sespe side. So I'm getting really close to that Harris Tunnel. That'll be really cool. Here's the Harris Tunnel. It's nice down here. There's a creek and it's shady. Woohoo! So exciting. Oh. I think I'm gonna sit here by this creek by the Harris Tunnel for like an hour, and then I'm gonna bypass Willett, and I'm gonna try to get all the way to Sespe and stay there tonight. That'll be a nicer spot. And then I'll try to get up really early and tackle the Johnston Ridge Trail. Well, I made it to the Sespe Trail, but I could not find the lower part of this trail that comes out of the sign. So I battled my way through dried stuff in this meadow here. It's so hot. I decided not to sit around by the Harris Tunnel because it wasn't a very comfortable spot, even though it was cool and refreshing. I thought, if I could get to Sespe earlier, I could just lay down all day, all the rest of the day, and get up really early in the morning. So, phew. Why don't you move along? Whoa. Okay. I'll just wait. I can't believe I've lost my stove and my pot. I have to go back all the way. I'm at, I think it's called Coltrell Camp. This is such a better campsite than over at Willett's, where there's these biting flies. They got me. I'm gonna go back to Willett's, see if my pot and stove are there, and I'll camp there. So I was in this area. And I was over here, and my stove and pot are not here. So, I must have lost it or left it at Harris Tunnel. That's the last time I used it. I made a really big drink with it. Oh man. So I don't know if the Zoleo text messaging actually works, because every time I've tried to use it, I never get a reply from Tony. So I don't know if he gets my messages or not. But I'm just gonna hike out anyway. I have food that I guess I could pour water in the bags and then just wait for it to soften and then like suck it out of the bag. I don't know. I can't eat my food. And I'm so thirsty and it's so hot, and I just think this is a disaster. So I'm gonna hike out, and if I have to walk all the way, I don't know, down to where I can get cell service, I guess I'll do that. Maybe I can hitchhike. Maybe there'll be somebody who's, doesn't have a day job like me that I can flag down somewhere. This is ridiculous. This little creek was dry last night, and now look at it. Well, there's the Red Reef Trail area. I would have had to go. I think the tunnel is where these cliffs come down behind. Like I'd have to go up and in and into there to find my stove. And I think I will just go back some other day, maybe in the fall, and look for it. In the meantime, I got other things I can use, and I can always buy a new stove. Got an early start so I can enjoy the coolness. The river is like a lake right here. Really, really wide. Look at him. Look at this lovely, almost like a lake. Now would be a really good time to come out here and just do the swimming holes. This is just a little bit around the corner from Bear Creek. It looks like a lake. Ooh, there's Bear Creek. What a lovely swimming hole this is. It's hard to get to the shore though. You can walk in somewhat here, otherwise you just got to jump in. I got across without getting my feet wet. There's nobody here, nobody but me. I'm gonna sit down somewhere and check my Zoleo, see if Tony ever got my messages. So there's no message from Tony, and so that means I might have to walk the highway or out to the highway, and then or just walk down the road until somebody comes by. So there's a popular campground not far from the trailhead, so there could be traffic going in and out of that, but you know, it's what, Wednesday? There could be traffic on the road, maybe beyond the gun club or something. And then there could be traffic on Highway 33. So I'm not sure how many miles it is, but it's going to be a long walk in the hot sun. Oh well. Oh geez, another bad sign. I walked a little too far down the sand, missed the start of the trail. So I turned back and found a Zoleo in the sand, and it's my Zoleo. Jeez. So I tanked up on some water. I got about, almost, not really 3 liters, but 2+ liters. Almost 3. Just in case I have to walk all the way to Highway 33 before I get cell service. With any luck, maybe Tony's up there, but I doubt it if he didn't ever reply. So we'll find out what happens next. Well, I've made it to the trailhead. There's a white car over there. Could be Tony. So I had an idea. I'm going to use my Zoleo and send a check-in, like, I don't know, every 10 minutes or something. And maybe that'll pester him enough that he'll check his messages or figure out what's happening. So I've pinged him 5 times with 5 check-ins. And we'll see if that wakes him up, or maybe Zoleo just doesn't work. I don't know. So hungry. I had a cookie for dinner and a package of Starburst. And today I had a cookie, protein cookie. I'm so hungry. So I'm here at Ojai Vaughn's, and I called Tony, and he said he never got any of my messages, so the Zoleo doesn't really work. He's gonna come and get me, and so I'm gonna just wait for him. I got a ride. I hitched a ride from these two really nice guys who took me all the way down to Ojai. So that's how I got here. And that's the end of that. I don't think I'm going to go back out because it's too hot. But got a 5-day adventure out of it. That's good enough, I guess.